Hello everyone. We are back with a live yet again after a long time. Last week we had a family meetup day at campus, so we were busy with that. And today's live again we will be doing with one of our cohort members. In fact, this individual, this youth has been with CoVersity since the inception, since we did the for a long time, and we will get to know from her how it has been, what were the factors that led her to, decide on continuing with this journey. Uh, Wait for her to join. Here she is. Hi, Shriya.
Hello, hi.
I'm good. How are you? How are you doing in the break week?
I'm doing good. There are lots of things happening. So yeah, it's going good.
Nice, nice. So I was telling everyone that you're the one person who is kind of, done this journey for a real long time. You've been on this journey since the start. So we have a lot of thoughts to gather from you. But for anyone who is joining us newly, CoVersity is a journey for the youth where they co-create their professional journey along with the cohort by deep diving into their interests, doing industry specific work, and seeing which of their interests are really, they want to go deeper and see it as a profession. So okay, so Shreya, let's start. First let's go a bit in our timeline, and we've kind of had some glimpses into your journey from last year. Now let's look at what were the factors that made you decide that you want to continue on this journey? What were those aspects that you thought, hey, I want to, go further on this and go deeper into my domain in this way of doing? So, can you share some thoughts on those decision making factors?
Yeah. So yeah, as you have shared, I've been doing this journey from past more than a year. It's almost been 2 years. So something like from my experience, I wouldn't say that it's been a smooth flow, but there was ups and downs throughout the journey. The main thing would be me kind of figuring things out and kind of making decisions. I liked that so much. I and obviously with the support, like me making my own decisions and taking the responsibility of doing something has made a lot of difference in the way that I was doing things, the way I was approaching towards my learning, or be it connecting with people. So that's something that I've really loved. And another thing is that I also kind of got to know the actual experience, like how do I deal with the clients, like not just with the clients, with the other designers, or just with my friends who are in the similar journey of they converting their passion into profession. So I think that thing has really, let me, that's what something that I've really loved about this. So I
Mm.
thought, oh, so that real life experience in the industry has pushed me to know various things and to learn various things. So these two are the main things which I have decided to continue more. And it's also very exciting for me to do. More than exciting, it's challenging. And I like taking up those challenges as I work. So yeah, these are the few things that made me to continue.
Nice. So the word responsibility really, put my antennas up. But what would you tell youth who are like, uh, does it, like when you're talking about responsibility, for some people who are still figuring it out or are not sure about their interest, it can be very daunting also. So you want to say, even though if there's a lot of responsibility on the learner, on the youth themselves, but how that kind of balances with the support you get. Maybe you would want to share that aspect, like you're taking the responsibility, but how are the support systems coming into play?
So one thing, first of all, when I decide to kind of take the responsibility of something, be it my own learning or the way that I want to approach something or to know something, it has a different attitude within myself. It has a lot more seriousness, and it has some kind of, that the seriousness that I have to move ahead with this. That attitude kind of changed a lot of things within me, the way I approach, the way I learn. And obviously, as I was going, there were times when I had kind of struggles, or when I was confused. I didn't know what to do, or how do I approach, what else am I supposed to know, like doubts, many doubts, that am I doing it right, or is this the way I'm supposed to do? What is all it is about? That's when the people around me had supported me so much. Like it's huge. That helped. Like I can give you examples too. Like when I sometimes feel very overwhelmed with different things that I'm learning, even with the resources that I have, like maybe learning through YouTube, or learn through forums, or asking someone or designers on how to learn. But at times it feels overwhelming to kind of learn many things which are there in the industry. So that's when the peers, like the CoVersity buddies who are also along with me, who are also in the similar journey, kind of comforts me, or they give me a few ideas which they use. As we all of us are in the similar journey, we could really relate to each other. And at times they comfort me, at times they kind of push me more, like, why are you feeling this way? This is not the, you can do this, you can do that. So there are things like that too. And at times when I'm not sure, like, is this the way that I have to learn something, or are there any more possibilities to my own learning? That's when the cohorts guides stepped in, and the connections they had in the industry, and they themselves gave me some suggestions. It's not always just suggestions also, it's sometimes they just listen to me. Sometimes they just give me some contacts with whom can help me. So there are various things happen that way. And also and talking to the actual designers who are in the industry also helped me a lot. As just a beginner, I wouldn't know many things, but them being a professional and having a lot of experience helped me a lot with the small doubts that I have, or the questions that I have within the industry. How will the industry work? What do I have to learn to go into the industry? And many more things. So these people have really helped me a lot throughout my journey. But that attitude of me taking responsibility of my own self made me to connect with people.
Mm.
Yeah,
It's also pushed you out of your comfort zone, I've seen.
yeah,
To
yeah,
a extent.
absolutely.
Right. Okay, now we kind of, let's come to the present now. And we want to talk all about, what's really happening. How are you going? So just to give audiences a, glimpse of what Shriya has been deep diving into designing. And her focus is especially in the UI, UX domain, the user interface and the user experience domain. So with that background, Shreya, tell us, I want you to share with the audience to give them an idea about how much of a structure CoVersity Journey is and how much of a flexibility there is for you. I know there is a solid process that you guys follow in terms of the planning, the reflections, so let's first talk about the processes in place. Like, how are you guys really co-creating, or, how are you designing your learning journey?
Yeah. So first of all of us are in one place. We are at the Aarohi campus, and that makes a huge difference where we are sitting together, working together. Obviously, not whole day long, but at times we sit together and work. At times we do our individual works in our individual places. So that's something that we do together. And then we stay for the whole week. Like, we do various things. We start off with planning. Like, we plan our week. What are the things that we want to achieve within that week? What are the things we want to focus, not just within our learning, but also on self development. We also do self development sessions once a week. We have covered on emotions. We have covered on how we can search on the internet the information that we want to, and how to do research, and many more things we have covered till now. So we start off with that, planning about our own learnings and the self-development and the group activities that all of us want to do together. We start off with that, and then we kind of detail our planning. It's not just the task list. We have the aim, what are the skills that we want to use, and what are the different aspects that we want to cover in that particular learning or that particular work that we are doing. So we do that bit, and much more details we do. So we do that's this detail. And as we are doing, all of us discuss sometimes along with our guides too. And with the parents, we discuss that this is what we are thinking. Like if sometimes I wouldn't know what exactly I want, what skills that I want to develop, or what skills are used in that particular work that I'm doing. That's when the people around me helps me. Like this, you can maybe try questioning. You can maybe try uh, something else, like thinking more, thinking of different possibilities, or questioning various things, or searching in different ways. So that's how people add value to our own planning. And then we do reflections every day, like we sit together and we reflect on our day, how it went, how good it went, how bad it went, how what was funny, what worked, what didn't work, and we kind of that reflection we add it to our next day's plan. It's not like we just reflect and leave, but we,
Right.
based on those learnings, we add to our next plans and for the things that we are doing. So these are the three main things that we do: plan, reflect, and also self-development. It's not just these work things. We also have fun. We have these little chit chat thing that we all do together. We have fun among ourselves. And within the day or within the week, there are four different things or three different things that all of us have. One is that we pick up a project. It can be a project of a month or 2 weeks or 2 months or 3 months, depending on how much we want to learn, what we want to learn, and why we want to learn. So based on that, we pick up one project, a small project, and then the other thing would be, and that project also can be a personal project or a project we do for a client. It can be either. And then we also do a daily workout. So basically, we do something every day which adds up to our skill on that particular thing. Sometimes I focus on, let's say, creative part. I would make posters every day, so that each day when I do posters, it adds up to the way that I'm doing. It improves the layout. So 1 week I focus on layout, another week I focus on composition, another week I focus on colors. Like that, we keep changing every week, or we can continue the same thing for weeks too. And then the other thing that we do, these are the two things mainly that we do. And the other thing would be some skill that we want to add to ourselves. Like, for example, I do website design, like for the CoVersity itself, because that is also indirectly or directly connected to the user experience or user interface. So it's up to us. Some people just do these two things, just the project and the daily workout. Some people do more than that. We also read books together, which adds up to ourselves. So we do these various things among our week.
Right, right. Okay, so you've like really given a long explanation to all, and I can see a solid process. I want to know, I want you to reflect back and see like how has this process or this framework, like what are the changes you've observed in yourself in terms of, how you're approaching your learning or your professional journey. You're 18 and you're, kind of in that zone of kind of getting into the industry. So how has that really impacted you at a personality level and in terms of, your doing? So at a self level and at the professional level, how has this framework helped you?
So one thing that I've really got used to was doing. Like it
Mm.
doesn't feel like I'm doing some work. It just goes with the flow. It doesn't feel like some burden. Like at the end of the day, you feel, oh, I've done so much, and throughout the day I'm feeling so tired. It's nothing like that. It just goes with the flow, and I just enjoy as I do various things throughout my day. Obviously, yeah, at times I feel tired at the end of the day, but it's not like, oh, I did a lot of hard work. It's with love, it's with that excitement, it's with that interest that we do our work. So
Mm.
that and I've really got used to doing. Like before, I'm not used to doing at all. Like if I do one day, the next day I feel, who do today? I don't want to do it today. But now it's nothing like that. Even on the weekends, at times I feel like, oh, I have to research on this, or I have to look into, let's say, some interview of a designer, or I want to do something like a craft or a painting or something I want to do. So I really got used to that doing part, and also connecting with myself too. As I do various things, I also observe what works for me, what way of learning works for me, or what approach works for me. Like, and I also feel like, do I have to ask for help here, or do I have to figure it out myself? So it kind of enables me to know about my own learning process or the journey of me. So that's also another thing. And connecting with people, like asking for help, that's the main thing. Like before, I'm not a person who kind of generally asks for help when I'm stuck. But then these days I've really learned to, like, even to find if I want to help or not. Like sometimes I can't even acknowledge myself that I'm stuck here and I need help. But these days, as throughout this journey I've been, the experience I've got, now I am able to find out, okay, this is where I'm stuck. I know this is what is the problem is. So that problem identification has developed in me. And then connecting with people, like finding out, okay, whom can I connect for this particular thing, or that, let's say for technical things, for whom can I connect with, for personal things, whom can I connect with, just for some little support, can I connect with. So connecting with people has and communicating too. I generally don't talk to people much, and now I am talking to people and trying to convey my thoughts and feelings as accurate as possible to the other person. So these are personally that I have developed, and professionally, I would say, yeah, the connecting part also applies to this. I connect with the industry people too, and the clients also. Like, how do I deal with the clients? How do clients work, and how does the payment things work? And
Mm.
so that part I've really learned, and also kind of learning based on the need. It's not like that I just learn something and then think where I can apply it in my industry, but rather finding out what is needed in the industry and then learn it. For example, like now I'm learning Figma. It is an application used by UI designers. So I'm learning it.
Mm.
So how I got to know that I have to learn? Like initially I thought, okay, I want to do something related to UI and UX, but I have no clue what to do. That's a vast branch, obviously, and I didn't know where to start. So I went to
Right.
LinkedIn. I just went to LinkedIn and then searched for UI UX internships, and I got few as of what I've searched, and almost all of them said the requirement is we need a person who can use Figma. So that I got to know, okay, so if I want to be a UI designer, so if I want an internship uh, in the industry, I have to learn this particular application. So that's how I
Mm.
got to know, and now I'm learning it for the need. So yeah, this is also something all of us do. It's not just we stay in the campus and learn things, but we also do internship or apprenticeship, or we may start even a little businesses, or many more things which we actually do in the industry. So we are kind of gonna do this thing after a month. So that's what we have planned. So we are preparing ourselves. We are finding the skill set and connections with the
For,
connections we already have.
I'm coming to that. So before we get into the whole industry aspect, you said a very, which was also my follow-up, flow into how we wanted to take the conversation forward. One thing is you said learning by need, or as we call it on a CoVersity journey, the work to learn. Like your learning is applied by doing or by working on things that is needed for your own growth in terms of the domain, right? So I want to go a bit deeper in terms of you started off with the whole Figma, how you approached, the whole learning Figma. So you looked at LinkedIn and you realized for internships, this is a very foundational and essential skill set. So you decided you have to learn Figma. Now let's go into, I want to know the full saga of, how you, because I've seen you go through those phases of first, okay, I'll just let you speak and, we'll see
Okay.
from there.
So, oh yeah, this learning Figma was such a huge thing among all the different things that I've did till now. Even the client projects were one side, and this learning Figma was entirely different for me because it's really huge, and and I didn't know initially. I didn't know where to start. Like one way, I started off with looking at the tutorials in the YouTube, like how to use Figma. Just look at the tutorials and then copy the screens which are already existing. Let's say the home screen of the Instagram or WhatsApp. Just copy paste them using whatever I've learned through tutorials. Then I thought this isn't gonna get me uh, a much of learning curve. It's just basic copying thing, and what exactly I'm gonna learn. So that's when, along with my guide and my CoVersity buddies, we have brainstormed on what can I do to learn Figma. So that's when, and it's also, it should be something useful. Like, what's the point if I'm just doing something and it's just like a showpiece in our house? It should be something useful. So that's when we have come up with, okay, let's design an app. And then we have thought of different ideas of what app can I make. And then the one of the idea that I didn't wanted that app to be too big too, because I'm just starting. I wanted something simple and something I can really connect to.
Correct.
That's when we thought, okay, let's make a work tracking app for us, the cohort buddies. So that's how I started. Obviously I would be the one who is also using it along with my friend. So in a way, I'm also the client. So I know the requirements. What are the requirements of it? So I listed on all the requirements and how I want it to be. What are the different features that I want to include? And obviously, I've also discussed with this along with my buddies too, as they would also be using it. So that happened, and then I've went ahead with kind of the same. I've used YouTube tutorials to learn how to use Figma, and then I have made the basic structure of the app. So till then, it was all well and smooth and good. And then I got an issue. Like, how do I upgrade myself? Like the basic features, though, okay, I understood. I've made the uh, screens. So how do I upgrade it? How do I make it as a standard one? How would I do it as a proper thing? How will I learn new features in Figma? So that's,
Mm.
and I've tried kind of looking into more tutorials and applying it, but that didn't really work. So it felt like I was stuck there and I didn't know what else to do. And that's when my guides have helped me. So my guides told me that there is something called as forum or a community in the organizations like this, which helps people to clarify their doubts and questions and support each other. And that's when that's one help that I've got from the guides. And also, like, I was somehow stuck with the time. Rather than me focusing on I have to learn Figma, I was more into, okay, this is taking a lot of time, because that is new for me. So it's obvious that it's taken me more time to learn. But somehow I got caught up in it. And that's when my guides also helped me that what is your main target? Do you want to finish it in a less time as much as possible, or you want to learn as much as possible? So that's when I also realized, okay, I have that my main target is to learn Figma and not kind of complete it within, like, say 2 weeks or 3 weeks or whatever time frame it is. So that's when it helped me to kind of get a clarity, or to kind of find my own balance in what I'm doing. So that's when now again I've kind of re-looked into it and like changed a few things. I've started researching, or rather searching for various resources that I've wanted. What are the standards that are there as I have to design an app? What are the different resources I need? And many more things. And also, I wasn't into developing this app. I thought I'll just design and that's all. But then in the Aarohi community, there was also another member who is learning about developing an app. So she stepped
Mhm.
in along with me, and we both together now, after I design this app, she is going to develop it. So both of us are simultaneously learning from each other, doing things together of how to design an app and also how to develop an app. So till now, that's how it has been, and it is going well as things are coming and people are helping me to get over. Yeah.
Right, right, absolutely. So just to clarify to people, guides are not domain experts, but they're basically, parents are also guides on a CoVersity journey, and there are facilitators from the Aarohi community. Shreya, one of the most common thing that we get asked is, there's no, we are not providing a platter of mentors, right? There's no mentors being given to each of you as and how you need it, like from the start. So I want you to share that, like when I know you had a doubt whether you need a mentor or, so do you really need a mentor from the start, or is it better to have a mentor of your choice? Give us a glimpse of how without a mentor you start off with, and you bring in mentors when you feel the time is right, when you kind of build that foundation to connect with a mentor.
So yeah, so first of all, like I've started off with whatever I know and whatever the resources were available to me. And then as I was doing it, there was a time like when I've told you I was stuck on whether I don't know what else, how I can go forward. That's when I've talked to my guide. So I was in a confusion whether I need an actual mentor or something that kind of guides me in my professional journey. So that's when one of the suggestions from my guide was to use these forums or community of the organizations as a mentor. It's like I've got to know something new. It's not always that we need a person to be a mentor, but a group of people or a group of
Mhm.
learners can also be mentors for one. So that's how it's been. And for my previous projects where I needed some guidance with the client project that I was doing, like being it a website design or a logo design, through the connections that my parents had or the guides had, I have approached the designers and I've like openly told them like I'm learning in I'm an open learner and I'm doing a project to the client, and this is what the requirement is, this is how much I've done, and this is where I'm stuck. And can you please help me? And every time that I've asked those designers uh, to help me out with something, and they have always helped me out with maybe some resources or correcting me or kind of giving me some suggestions. So every time that I had some stuff where every time when I was stuck or I needed some help, so people who are around me have always helped me with an open heart, and which I'm really thankful for. So it's also like in CoVersity, we also believe that the world is there to mentor us, the world is there to help us. So that does really work. So till now, every time I've got stuck somewhere or the other, I got help from people and resources in many ways.
Absolutely. So in a way, that's very reassuring, and I want to reiterate the fact that the world, at least in our experience, we've seen it's been very welcoming and open to open learners, just by the sheer fact that you know they are so passionate about what they are doing, and there is a lot of effort from the learner side itself. So that is what the industry is also valuing and more open to, mentoring, encouraging, and supporting these learners. All right. So let's talk about, so first 3 months you're going to be on campus, and which out of which 2 months are over, you have one more month to go, and next is the industry connect phase. While you've had a lot of experience in terms of the client projects, I know this time you want to go for a solid internship. So tell us, how are you prepping for that? What really goes on into, how are you going to search or seek these internships? What is the process that you're following?
So yeah, we have kind of so we already planned about this, like what kind of internship we want to, and when we want to do an internship. We had a basic about it, and then in the next month we are kind of going into actually kind of searching for the internship. So one way that we haven't really discussed deep, but till now we have the basic idea of it, which is one way to find internship is through LinkedIn, and also through connections that we have within the Aarohi community and outside Aarohi community. So we have a community of 40 plus families. So we obviously have quite a few contacts for us. So we are gonna try these two ways, and as I've already shared, we have started kind of preparing our skill set to get an internship. We are looking through internet or through asking people. I've also talked to a few designers, asking them what will be the different things that I have to learn to get an internship, and we are learning those skills within this month or two, or how much ever we can. So we are learning through that, and we are also kind of making our portfolio. We
Mm,
basically document all our work and then make it as a presentable form, which is a portfolio, and then presenting it to clients, or be it to the companies which we want to apply for an internship, or just for anyone that we want to share it with. So yeah, these are the different things that we are doing to get an internship, and obviously we are going to do much more uh, in the next month.
lovely. Lovely. Yeah, I think we are kind of coming to the end of the conversation. But one thing that I want to kind of, leave before we end this discussion is the aspect of rigor. Like just by doing those daily workouts, I know you put in a lot of efforts in terms of the doing aspect as well as documenting it. You are very thorough with your blogs and, weekly reflections, all those things. I see that. I want you to share, like, what is the aspect that you've taken up for your daily workout, and also how has it, what does it do to you after 2 months? Now it's been 2 months that you've done so much of work. I've seen it. Uh, I want you to share with the folks as to what it does to you. Just that one bit of doing every day, how that incremental progress helps you at a personal level.
So these months I've worked on design thinking. So actually I did a course on design thinking foundation few months ago, like 3 months or so ago. So I've started applying that in my daily workout. So I would pick up one aspect every week. Let's say to this week I'll do ideation, or next week I'll do prototyping. Or one week I did the whole thing, like from starting from empathy to prototyping and testing. I've did everything in one week for a product, which is obviously useful. So that way, like doing this every week has kind of let me know the pros and cons of it. Like I would know and when to use one particular technique, or where should I apply, how should I apply, what would work and what wouldn't work. So I've got to know these application learnings, like the learnings that I get after applying it. So
Mm.
it's obviously different when I've studied about it, and then when I was applying about it, I'm applying those learnings. So these were the few things that have really got me to know about design thinking. So now, after me doing this for a few days, now I am able to kind of exactly know, like if I have some problem to solve in the future related to design, so I am able to think, okay, so it's like it's in my memory already. So that day I've applied in it. Let's say I've upcycled a newspaper, and of applied one ideation technique, and I know that experience is inside me, and in the future I can recall it and I can and accurately apply if it would work or not. So that experience and that memory is in my mind, which is going to be really useful as I go on in this journey. So that's something that Rigour has done.
Lovely, lovely. So, okay, just to summarize, you come taking your interest, but the idea is to see if it is something really that you can do with a lot of rigor, lot of, process and lot of effort thrown into your exploration. Yes, and with all this rigor, intensity, there's also a lot of support system where guides are there to, expand your perspectives, where there are cohort buddies who will kind of guide you in the most unassuming ways. Like it doesn't feel very authoritative, right? I mean, they'll push you, pull you, but it's the most connecting form of facilitation, I feel. And then, of course, the whole industry connect where you're working to learn. All these things might seem a bit daunting, but with the support system that you have, they really work in your favor in terms of, you going deeper in your domain with the right skill set, applying them right away, and your learning being very contextual. And also you're growing as a person because a lot of focus is also on self-development. So any last thoughts for youth who are, kind of maybe who've just given their 10th, 12th, NIOS. I know you were in that phase too. So I want you to share a few thoughts on how they can go about deciding on their interests and their profession.
I think just start doing would really clarify many things in the head. Like even when I've started, I've had lots of doubts, but once I've started doing it, many of them got clarified, or few of them just vanished away. So nothing happened. So just start doing, and doing things would make a lot of difference and makes a lot of peace in you.
The funny part is all of you guys I do these live session with, everyone is talking about doing. So there is like a lot of emphasis on doing at Aarohi CoVersity.
True.
So if you have a particular interest, get down, get your hands dirty, start doing, and then you will know for yourself whether you want to go deeper or explore something else. And that is why a CoVersity journey really helps the youth to explore as many domains as they want. And that exploration is not superficial, it is like getting deep down, doing solid industry work and understanding the kind of industry that you're getting into if this is the interest that you want to pursue. Thank you, Shreya. This was such a wonderful conversation. We got to, experience and understand so many aspects that a youth goes through when they are on a self-led journey like this. So thank you once again for sharing your thoughts.
Thank you so much for having me. It was wonderful having a conversation.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.